There's a type of video on YouTube that pulls millions of views almost every time it drops. You've seen it, bold text flying in, animated maps, a narrator walking you through something complicated and making it feel obvious, clean, cinematic, expensive. People call it Vox-style. And for years, making one meant a team, a researcher, a writer, a motion designer, a voice actor, and an editor who actually knew After Effects. Weeks of work for a single video. What you just watched took one sentence, not one day, not one weekend, one sentence, typed into Claude code. Script, voiceover, every visual asset, every scene, organized and ready to animate. And today, I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to build one live, on screen, start to finish. Every step, nothing skipped. If it breaks, you'll see it break. Let's go. Go to higgsfield.ai/mcp. That string on the page is your connector. Copy it. Now open Claude Code, Settings, Connectors, add Custom Connector, paste it in, name it whatever you want. I'm calling mine Higgsfield. Save. And there it is, active in the list. From here on, every request flows automatically. Claude asks, Higgsfield delivers. You just watch. Now here's the part I still find slightly ridiculous. Even after running this a dozen times, I open Claude Code and load the skill. That's this file here and it's linked in the description. The skill is what turns Claude from a general assistant into something that knows exactly how to build this specific kind of video. Then I type, make me a 3-minute explainer video. You pick the topic. That's the whole brief. No script, no storyboard, no reference images. I didn't even specify a style. Most people assume more input equals better output. And for a general purpose AI, that's true. But this skill isn't general purpose. It already knows what a Vox-style video needs, how to structure a story, and what visual assets each scene type requires. All of that is baked in. My job from here is basically to approve things. The moment I hit send, it doesn't start generating. It does something smarter first. It goes out and researches what's actually trending right now, what people are watching, what's being searched, and critically, what has high interest but low saturation. So you're not making the 40th video on a topic that's already flooded. A minute later, it comes back with 3 topic options, each with a reason attached. I read them and pick one. 30 seconds of my time. Then it asks a couple of style questions. Minimal or layered? Maps and charts or cutout characters? Any reference I wanted to follow? I answer in 2 lines. And that is the last real decision I make until the video is finished. Script comes first. Full structured narrative, hook, body, payoff, written around the topic and timed to the exact length I asked for. And look at how it's built. It's not one block of text. It's already broken into scenes, with a note on each one about what needs to be shown visually. That structure is what everything downstream runs on. Next, the voiceover. And I want you to see this properly, because people assume there's a hidden step here. There isn't. This is Higgsfield audio. Click audio, browse the voice library, pick the one that fits the tone of your video, drop the script in, generate. No third-party subscription, no microphone, no recording setup, no noise treatment on your room, and no exporting a file out of one tool to upload into another. It's generated inside the same platform as everything else, which matters more than it sounds like it does when you're doing this at volume. Listen to what came back.
In January 2026, gold hit $5,589.
That's the narration for the entire video. Done. Okay, this is the part that actually matters, so I'm going to slow down. Remember the consistency problem? Here's how it gets solved. It's not magic and it's not luck. It's a style reference sheet plus structured prompting. 2 pieces. Piece 1. Before a single image is generated, the skill locks one visual system. Look at this sheet. A fixed palette. These exact colors, nothing else. A fixed line weight, one type system, one lighting rule, one composition logic. That sheet becomes law for the entire video. Piece 2. And this is the mechanism people miss. Every single scene prompt carries that same style block. Watch this. Here's the prompt for scene 3. A world map with trade routes. And here's scene 11. A completely different subject, a cutout character at a desk, different content. Look at the bottom of both prompts, same style block, word for word, identical. So the model is never guessing what this video looks like. Every request arrives preloaded with the same visual rules. It's not being asked to be creative about style, it's being told the style and asked to be creative about content. Now watch the assets come back into the dashboard. First one, second, third, and notice they don't approximately match. They match. Same palette, same weight, same design logic. Pull back. That's every asset from this video in one grid. Maps, charts, characters, icons, title cards, different scenes, different content, one visual identity. That's the whole game. That's the difference between a pile of AI images and a video. Once generation finishes, the skill asks one last thing. Everything's ready. Want me to assemble the project? I type yes. And what happens next is the part that used to eat my entire evening. Organizing assets, naming files so you can actually find them, matching each scene to its audio timestamp, building a folder structure an animator can open and immediately work inside without asking you 40 questions. It does all of it in a few minutes. Look at this. Scene folders, numbered in order. Every asset named for what it is and where it goes. The voiceover split and mapped against the scene list, so you know exactly which frame belongs to which second of narration. That's not something I touched. I go straight to animation, no cleanup, no renaming, no prep. Open it and start working. Here's what came out.
In January 2026, gold hit $5,589 an ounce, nearly triple its price from 6 years earlier.
Go through that scene by scene. There's no moment where it breaks. No frame that looks like it came from a different tool or a different day. One visual identity from the opening frame to the last cut. That's not an accident. That's the style lock doing exactly what it was built to do. And this isn't a one-format tool. Same pipeline, different brief. Faceless YouTube channels, history, finance, geopolitics, science. That's the obvious one. And it's where this format prints views. Brand explainers. If you run a product, this is your how it works video, your company story, your onboarding walkthrough, built in an afternoon instead of quoted at agency rates. Marketing content, social ads, campaign explainers, launch videos, the stuff you need 3 of by Friday. And educational content, tutorials, documentary style breakdowns, anything where you're explaining something complicated to someone who doesn't know it yet. You change the brief, the output changes, the quality doesn't. One more thing, and this one genuinely surprised me the first time. After the video was finished, I typed one more line. Now make this in Spanish.
En enero de 2026, el oro alcanzó los $5,589 la onza, casi el triple de su precio de hace 6 años.
New voiceover, generated in Higgsfield audio, same visuals, untouched. And I want to be precise about what that is, because people confuse it with subtitles. This isn't a subtitle track. It's a native version of the video, in that language at the same production quality. One video becomes 10, no extra shoot, no extra team, almost no extra cost. For anyone building a channel or a brand, that's not a feature, that's a different business model. So back to where we started. One sentence. And what came out was a researched, scripted, voiced, fully visualized, production-ready explainer, consistent from the first scene to the last frame, with 3 more language versions sitting next to it. My honest take? Is it flawless? No tool is. You'll re-roll some scenes. Some topics land better than others, and you still have to direct it. Taste is still your job, and it always will be. But the pipeline that used to need a team and a week now runs inside one conversation. That's not a small change. Everything I used here, the skill, the full workflow, the MCP setup, is in the description. Higgsfield is free to start, and you watch the connector setup take under a minute. So there's genuinely no reason not to run this exact test yourself tonight. Links in the description and pinned in the comments. Go build something. I want to see what you make.